So I wanted to read just a few things from the Aquarian and then the New Testament, because I want you to hear this. I did have more. This is Jesus is speaking to some people in Jerusalem. Men call me the Christ, and God has recognized the name. But Christ is not man. Christ is universal love, and love is king. This Jesus is but man who has been fitted by temptations, overcome by trials multiform, to be a temple through which the Christ can manifest to men. Then hear, you men of Israel, look not upon the flesh that is not king. Look to the Christ within, who shall be formed in every one of you as he has been formed in me. And then they say, tell us how to do that. And he says, every man is a specialist in sin. There is no answer that fits everyone. Whatever is not making you happy, whatever is keeping you from God, stop. You're unique. Change how you behave. Then in chapter 71, he says, they are asking him to show them the king. Every soul a kingdom is. There is a king for every man. This king is love, and when love becomes the greatest power in life, it is Christ, so Christ is king. Everyone may have this Christ dwell in his soul as Christ dwells in my soul. The body is a temple of the king. And when Christ becomes the greatest power, you are automatically filled with love. And when love becomes the greatest power, you are automatically filled with Christ. I did want to read to you something in the New Testament. This is, the first one's in Colossians. If you ever study the New Testament, Colossians and Ephesians is when they actually introduce the idea of the cosmic Christ, Christ being greater than just a man, and or a linear son of God. Colossians 3:11, and this is written by Paul. He is talking to them to put on the new life, where there is neither Jew nor Armenian, circumcised nor uncircumcised, Greek nor barbarian, slave nor free man, but Christ is in all and in all men. You don't hear that often from Christian theologies, that Christ is in all. I also wanted to read you 1 Peter 1:11, and he's talking about the prophets in the Old Testament. They searched to find out what time it would be revealed, and the Spirit of Christ which dwelt in them testified beforehand the suffering of the Christ and the glory that would follow. These are two places in the New Testament where it is acknowledged that the Christ Spirit dwells within all. It does not matter your religion. It doesn't matter what you worship. What animates you, what makes you alive, is the spark of divinity, the Christ Spirit within you. They said our religion doesn't matter, but awakening to the Christ does. And I wanted us to remember what Jesus did when he taught and healed. He would heal people, and he did not say, follow me to every one of them. He would heal them and say, now go live your life, go home. Don't do what you've been doing. Go and sin no more, but go live a godly life. And he did that because he trusted the Christ in them had awakened. And they would do what they needed to do. Do you see? When we work toward Christmas, we get into this idea of this religious mindset that we now go back into our old training. Jesus Christ came to the earth to remind us that we are children of God. He came to waken up the sleeping seed of divinity within each one of us. Did he save us? Absolutely. Love saves. If you wake someone up and the house is on fire and you get them out, did you save them? Yes. But what did it take for them to get out of the house, to get up, to get on their feet, to go? We have to awaken. We have to awaken to our divinity. Jesus Christ came awakened from birth, I believe. I believe that as a child, he had had enough experiences that he knew he was Son of God from the moment he was able to integrate in this world. Because the world did not make sense to him. And he was always looking at the world saying, well, this doesn't make sense. He looked at everything through the eyes of God. And he knew God was his parent. There was never a doubt. And he loved his mom and he loved his dad, but he was a child of God. And that's the gift that he brought through his entire life for us. To remind us we are children of God. To quicken the Christ within. The Christ within is in every man. Every man. And the path that they choose to wake up is unique to them. We cannot judge any man, any faith, any religion. The path anyone chooses is unique to them. So, our religious path is about awakening the Christ within consciously. And as we celebrate Christmas, we love to look at his life. Don't we love to look at his life? We love to look at the birth. We love to look at the journey. We love to look at everybody that was there. Why? Because we learn. We learn through his experiences how we can craft a better life ourselves and make it easier for us to wake up. We learn through accessing his consciousness. We learn through opening to God. Everything within the whole story is magic because it touches us to this being who is beyond, again, our ability to understand. But as we read and love and experience, we need to remember why we're doing it. We're doing it to awaken this Christ within, to feel more and more a part of God's kingdom as child. Spirit said, do you have any idea the power that your joy has over those that are sleeping? And you know, we see people all the time with the light lit in their eyes, and you know, you don't have to know what religion they are, you know they're there. They are present, they're happy, their spirit's there, and you can feel it. Doesn't matter what they worship. They're present. And then we see other people who are barely there. Their eyes are dull, and we know they're hanging on for dear life. And that little seed of divinity is just buried deep under disinterest or giving up or hopelessness or whatever. And we love them. We love them. But when someone with the light in their eyes is around someone who is dull, the very connection quickens the vibration within. As we turn on the light and open to quicken the Christ greater, we affect the whole. Even the sleeping ones wake up just a little bit every time somebody celebrates. Now, is it our job to wake up the world? No. We have one person that we're responsible for waking up, and that's ourselves. And you can say, well, Cindy, you talk about this stuff all the time. Well, yes, I do. I must need a lot of waking up. You see? I must need to hear it all the time to keep my soul going, to keep my spirit quickening, to keep my light shining, and to grow my consciousness. And we all are on our own path. If you hear anything with this, you know the light within you. You know the Christ spark is in your heart. You know there is nothing that you have to do to make yourself worthy of God's love. God loves you. You wake up to being God's child. And as we go through this Christmas season, I would invite you to please. You know, you don't have to walk up and go, Jesus and I are one and I'm just as good as him. Well, unless you're walking on water, you probably have some work to do. But you can certainly go through this Christmas season saying, I am so grateful Jesus came to quicken the Christ within me. I am so grateful he came to remind me of this Christ in me. And as you look at the little manger, yay, thank you so much, it reminds me of the Christ in me. It's an easy concept, yes? We're going to go within now. God, we open our hearts. And I ask that your love just enfold us all. And I would invite each one of you just to begin to feel a beautiful light coming over you. And imagine that you can take a step in that light. Stepping up into unfamiliar territory, unfamiliar ground. But trusting God, trusting that Spirit. And I want you to ask God, do you love me? Do you love me like she says? And I want you to feel the answer. And just bring in the energy of Jesus the Christ into your space. And as he comes, see the brilliance of his presence. See the awesomeness vibrating in him. God made manifest. You can recognize God at such a higher level because he has walked the earth with you. See the light emanating from him. See the strength of the conviction. See God in him. And God nearer than hands and feet, and God expressing through Jesus Christ. And realize you need the both. You need to know your Father and Mother God loves you. And you need to know that you are the Christ. Take the hand of Jesus Christ and let your love connect. Let it just fill you to overflowing. And feel that great peace. And breathe. You are the beloved child of God. You are the Christ. Take a breath and send this idea out into your world. And I am not the only Christ, all are the Christ. And I send my love out to this world. All are the Christ. And feel the peace. And we ask that the Christmas angels be with each one now as they go to celebrate this holiday season. Let them remember, as they reach up to touch God, God is within, touching them. And we thank you. And so it is. Take a breath. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Well, I hope you could feel that higher self. We call it your higher self. And I hope you can touch that energy as you walk this year. Say, yay, God.
Yay, God.